All right, hello, 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 everyone. How are we doing? I hope you all are doing as good as I am right now, as we are right in the middle here of some quality sims going on free practice. Apologies for having the stream up a little bit later than I wanted. As some of you may have seen or know, there was a trade made today between my team, Red Bull, and Marcus Phoenix's team of Haas, sending process and art rhythms to the Haas team for the rest of the season in exchange for Ghostly. Prix has been elevated into a full-time driver, so I just needed to speak with Ghostly and get a couple things sorted with him. As at the moment, I think he's going to be very competitive. So as we saw last night, obviously it was a very entertaining race to watch, given how dominant Mr. Strict Volcano was. So we're going to see how strong he really is today. Oh, Zeesh just has a massive moment there, going through the bridge section, as it still looks like many cars fitting the softs now. I do want to watch Postman here, at least for his flying lap. Obviously, he did win the race last week at Japan. Nailed the strategy, had a couple things going his way. So we'll see what he can do here tonight, under the lights, in his second appearance in Tier 2. So standings-wise, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. Let's see how everyone is doing at the moment. Oh, and I have an ad. Wonderful. As we do have Postman in the background. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this while we look at the standings. And it's Sugi and Shuri tied for first place. Sugi having the advantage thanks to that win that he had at Bahrain. Postman is P2 with that win last week. Max Van Beast P4 on 18 points. Prix, one of the shocks of the season so far, P5 on 16 points. Zeesh P6 on 15. Killers, Ghostly, Putter, and Blitz round out the top 10. Blitz will not be racing tonight due to a race ban, which I do think is a bit harsh. Blitz is a very solid driver when it comes to racing standards, and everyone has a bad day. He just had a really bad day, by the looks of it. So, definitely unfortunate for him, and I hate to not see him racing tonight. So, so we'll see how they, the Alpine team, figures that out tonight. They are having Memphis, one of 2 Tier 3 drivers, racing today. Strict Volcano being the other one, which is a bit of a hot topic, considering that the ones that have been watching the Tier 2 streams know that he struggled a bit. He is a pretty decent qualifier, but he is very good at Singapore, and the drivers were very frustrated after last night's event. As Postman rounds but on corner, goes quickest overall, 29.4. At the moment, I want to see Ghostly, because Ghostly ran a time significantly quicker. Let's see, rounds turn 4, going down the back straightaway. But yeah, we'll see kind of where Strict Volcano, and how he fares against a better field, obviously. Ghostly looking very, very comfortable in that Red Bull. And he did have a time that was invalidated. I believe it was a 28.8. So that would put him up by a considerable margin. Qualifying bans tonight. Sugi has one, which is going to be very interesting. for the ones racing in FRL, you will know that Sugi's very good around this track, historically. So he will be starting last. And who else has one? Someone else does. That was pretty good. Oh yeah, Killers too. Ghostly goes 29.3, so a bit off of the lap that he ran earlier, but still pretty solid. Oh yeah, and look how much fuel is in that car. Oh wait, no, never mind. Oh no, he doesn't have a lot of fuel in. So I think he'll be a bit disappointed about that. Lap Ghostly will, but Art Rhythms is pushing. Now, I've done a little bit of practice with Process and Art Rhythms this week, obviously, because they were going to be racing for me. They both look very quick. I think they're both going to be very competitive, and at the moment, the times say that. Clay, what's going on, man? Nice to see that you're still around. Hope we can get you back one day. Hope life's treating you well. But yeah, so Haas, I think, having a very, very underrated driving pair. Art Rhythms, and I'm telling you, and it genuinely makes me really mad that I got rid of them, because I thought that they were both very good drivers. Art Rhythm especially has been a bit unlucky, and Process we haven't even seen yet. But they're two drivers that work very hard, and they want to be the best that they can. And in all honesty, if there were more Tier 2 eligible drivers, I would have 100% kept them. But at the moment, I mean, I'd rather have a full grid with, you know, everyone having a respective team. So I think Marquez could fleece me slightly, but I think both teams are going to win out, obviously, since Prix has had a very, very strong start to the season. As Zeesh goes 29.3, that's P2. And here comes Van Beest, who finished second on debut last week. Yeah, Clay, man. Yeah, just, you know how to find me. You know, whenever your schedule gets back to where it needs to be, just feel free to shoot me a message. Love to have you back. As, yeah, so 29.9 there for Max and Beast. The top 7 all in within about 0.6 of a second. As CB breaks into the top 5, P4, 29.5. CB, very controversial figure, for sure. I'm just hoping that he can have a better race than he did at Bahrain. But it is nice to always have CB on the grid. He keeps things interesting. I'm just glad I don't have to race him anymore. Memphis is pushing. He's had a bit of a struggle to this point. And this is going to be the driver we all want to see. Strict Volcano, who is very good at this track. And I do agree with him that I think that there are just some tracks that people are weirdly good at, and I think this is just one of them for him. Obviously, again, he did wipe the floor with the Tier 3 grid last night, even though he did not win the race. So I'm definitely interested to see how he fares here in a better grid. So he's normally about a Q2 exit, borderline a Q3. I think he should easily be able to get through to Q2 today, given 2 drivers having qualifying bans. I think Memphis will be out in Q1, no disrespect to him. But yeah, other than that, it's going to be really close for sure. And it's going to be the thinnest of margins that will get you in or out of qualifying. As Ryan rounds the final corner and goes slowest of the ones on their qualifying runs, 30 flat. As RC actually goes a 10 slower than that. Prix is pushing on the medium tires. Spoke to Prit this week. He was relatively uncomfortable with this track. He's just going to be happy to bring some points home, is what he told me yesterday. Obviously, Prit has been with me for... I'm gonna go on a tangent real fast. It's crazy how long I've known some of these people. Like, I was just speaking to Ghostly and Sugi. I've known them for 2.5 years now. Like, it's crazy how long some of us have been together. Oh, Prit's gonna bit in there in the last corner and cross the line. Oh, no, nope, not quite. I thought he may have improved on his lap there, spinning, but it does not appear that way. It was Ghostly's pushing again. Yeah, but the Ghostlies of the world, Sugi's been with me for a long time. CB I've known for probably at least 1.5 years. Prit I've known for about 2 years. Taylor, Deep Day, I've known him for probably about 2 years now. Logic I've known for probably over 2.5 years as well. So yeah, it's really nice to be able to call these people true members of the server. You don't really see it too often, but you know, obviously as we've recently celebrated our 2-year anniversary, it's great to see the guys that helped to build it with you still here and participating. Yeah, dude, full qualifying is super fun, I'm telling you, man. I think, for a lot of people, I think they enjoy it. They just don't enjoy how much time it takes. But commentating full qualifying is, I genuinely love it so much. That's part of the reason why we're doing it. As, it looks like Strict Volcano. We'll call it quits there in P9 in this free practice session. I think he would have wanted to be a bit higher. As it looks like Postman is down a little bit. Here's a funny little thing for the ones watching. I think, hopefully we can get a picture, but I think that my good friend Roscoe and Hoops are watching the stream on like a massive television. Or like a theater screen. And Roscoe texted me and he says that it's, quote, Williams HQ. So I think that's pretty funny. Hopefully we can get a picture and show that on stream at some point. RC, what's going on, man? How are you feeling about tonight? Shree goes P4 there for Alpine, but at the moment this session is all Ghostly. And he's a driver who's very quick over 1 lap. And you don't want to give him track position, especially around a track like this. As Art Rhythms, who's about 3/10 up, he did invalidate, but that's going to be a 29.3. That would put him into P2. So again, Art Rhythms looking very competitive. Let's see what Process can do. Actually, I want to see where Zeesh is. Zeesh is retired in P2. Reminders, we're going to get another lobby open to allow everyone to get their correct tire allocations. So I'll get that open pretty much the second that the session's over. And we'll go ahead and start with the festivities. As Process does improve slightly there to P5, that battle for P2 is going to be very intense. Bad, hate this place. Yeah, I mean, I think this track definitely is going to cater to wheel players a little bit more. I could see this being a very difficult track to controller. I've driven it on controller whenever I started playing F1 games. It's certainly... I almost think this track's a bit more difficult than Monaco, because there are some sections on this track, especially whenever they had the old bridge, I mean the tunnel that you went under. Like, that section was really difficult on controller. And then obviously you have the actual bridge where you're going underneath the little overhead. I need to refamiliarize myself with the corner names. I cannot remember. Maximum Beast goes P8, and that is the end of free practice here for FRL Tier 2. This is round number 3, and we will be back very shortly after I can get this lobby open. Welcome back, everyone. As we're about to get qualifying started, 19 drivers on the grid. I'm not sure where Putter is. I think he's going to be racing. Dude, shut up about me making ad revenue, bro. It's 6 minutes of ads in an hour. So it's like, what, 1 minute of ads every 10 minutes? For an ad-free viewing experience, make sure to sub. Easy, mate. Alright, so remember, we do have 2 cars serving qualifying bans today. One of which being Sugi, and the other one being, oh my gosh, Killers. So that's 2 pole contenders, pretty much, that you will not be seeing taking part in qualifying. It's going to be fun to see them trying to make their way up through the field. As I think we have the first cars on track now. It is about to get very, very interesting, and I think Memphis is going to be the first one out, but this is going to be the one I really want to see. Memphis, I swear, if you're on 32 laps of fuel, you will be the dumbest idiot ever. Oh my god, you are so dumb. Memphis has 32 laps of fuel on board. I don't know what he's thinking. A lot of drivers starting to make their ways onto track. Now, this isn't actually that hard of a track to get out of the way of. I think there's a good amount of space. But let's go ahead and watch this first lap here with Strict Volcano here racing for the AlphaTauri team tonight. It's a pretty decent run off the final corner into 8th gear. Hard on the brakes into turn number 1, 4th gear. Going to lose a little bit of time there as he can't quite hook up the apex going into 2nd gear as he heads towards turn 3, now into turn number 4, 4th gear, the gear of choice. Doing well to get on the throttle and to stay committed as he goes through the DRS zone and down the straightaway into 8th gear. 26.9 for a sector. That's a little bit slower than I think he would have wanted. And 2nd gear as it goes through this left-hander. Going in through 4th gear. Has a little bit of understeer. Takes a little bit of that entry curve down into 3rd gear. You really need to be hard on the power, and he is hard on the power. Just oh so close to touching the wall. 2nd gear, gear of choice as he heads towards, I believe this is turn 14. The very difficult braking zone. It's a lot tighter than you really think it is. Only 1 mark tonight. Yeah, a Putter is supposed to be racing. Due to my information. Oh my god. Dude. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Brian goes 29.9. So that, I think it's a decent banker time. He definitely would have won a bit more. And I'm pretty sure that he's actually behind on what CB is running at the moment on the medium compound tires, trying to get through Q1 without using a set of softs. And CB will go quicker by 0.4 of a second over Brian. I think the next car to cross will be DP in the AlphaTauri, who had a horrific qualifying last week. For the ones that saw that, I think he was out in Q2, almost out in Q1. And for a driver that is as good as he is, definitely a bit disappointed about that as he runs the final corner. 30.2. The AlphaTauris are not looking overly quick tonight. Now, I do know that Meow is stepping down as team principal pretty soon. So that team's going to have some direction that they're going to need to get sorted out. As RC goes 30.7, he's not going to be happy with that lap at all. As we might as well go ahead and see what Wendy's can do as he gets to the line. 31.2 for Wendy's, so he's considerably off the pace. As we'll go ahead and hop on board here with the Haas of Process, who hasn't raced yet this season. I think he's had work commitments that he's so he's not been able to race. I think he's pretty underrated. He was very solid in Tier 3 last season. But it just seems that as the game progresses, he's just getting faster and faster. And I think if he can get some track position, he's going to be pretty difficult to beat tonight. As he's a little bit down on what CB ran. CB ran a very good time there in the mediums. As Max Van Beast cannot dethrone CB's medium time. Process looks like he has the rear of that Haas hooked up, heading through the final corner. There's going to be a relatively competitive first lap for him. It'll be a 29.8 against CB with an amazing lap. As might as well see what Memphis can do. I have a feeling we're not going to be seeing him too much in qualifying. No offense. It's a 105.6 split there for Memphis. But at the moment, it looks like Wendy's number 2, and Memphis will be in a lot of trouble here in qualifying. I believe it's 2P15 where you get dropped still, even without 20 cars. And we'll see what Memphis can do. Crossing the line, goes 7th quickest. Not too terribly far off. So if he can find a little bit more time, he could actually secure himself a spot into Q2. As it looks like Prime Zetman had an issue on his outlap, and he's going to be boxing. Postman now on his lap, second gear through turn number 3, heading towards turn number 4. Getting a little bit of understeer, but the car's still turning. And we'll see what his first sector split will be. Another 0.9. So that's going to put him pretty close to whatever the top 4 are at the moment. But we've still yet to see a lot of contenders run their laps yet. Obviously, Ghostly, Shry, Art Rhythms is on an outlap at the moment. I think he'll be pretty quick. See what Postman can run through the second sector split. It's going to be a 104.4, and I think that's going to put him on pace to go first overall in this session. And I would dare say that would guarantee you him a spot into Q2 if he's able to. As he navigates the last little chicane, heading towards the final corner now. Keeps it in 5th gear, gets good rotation. That's going to be quickest overall in the session for Postman. 29.4, but still that time by CB, very impressive. As, let's go ahead and watch Azish, see what his split is. 27.3, so it was 4/10 off of what Postman set there in the first sector. Zish did win pole last week at Japan. Did he did also run the Tier 1 race, but did struggle. I think he's run actually both of the Tier 1 races to this point. How Memphis in a TP race? Because nobody else wanted to race. Yeah, I'm very stretched on T2 reserves at the moment. As Brian goes P2 overall, 29.5. So that pace from last night may be translating over here to Tier 2, at least for this particular race. He has a massive moment there at the final corner, and that's only going to be good enough for P7. That's a bit of a scrappy lap. Prix 26.9 through the first sector. Pretty decent from him, but this is the man who I really want to see. This is going to be the one that I think is going to be the pole sitter, which is Ghostly. And you just need to be naturally quick to get around this track, utilizing 7th gear to get a little bit deeper onto the brakes. 29.7 per sector there for Ghostly too. That's going to be best by about 2/10 that I've seen. And where Ghostly's really been strong is that middle sector, as especially here coming through the next couple corners, as Zitman's been given a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Art Rhythms. Yeah, and I'm not sure what happened there. Art Rhythms is bad luck in qualifying continues. And Zitman's struggles also continue. Let's head back on board with Ghostly, as I think Prix has invalidated and will have to box with 6 minutes and 50 seconds left in the session. And Ghostly will set the quickest time in the session, 29.1. For Mr. FRL Ghostly. So he goes to the top of the timesheets. Process is on another lap currently. Shree 26.9 per sector. This is going to put him kind of in the bracket in the point, anywhere from a 0.4 to 0.6 at the moment. Process, I think, has a bit more time in his lap. Heat gain goes 29.999. As Shree has a pretty solid second sector himself. He could be on pace here for P2. And he was on a recovery drive pretty much all race last race. I'm pretty sure was last after lap 1 and rebounded to finish 5th in a race with no safety cars. Shree goes P6. I don't think he had the greatest last sector. See what JJ can do in the Alfa Romeo. I don't know about you guys, but I love these onboard shots for qualifying. I feel like you can really be able to gauge the lap and how good it is, as JJ has a massive moment there, and this lap is going to be trashed. And with minimal time left, I think JJ is going to have to abandon here and try again, because I don't think his tires are going to be good enough to really get him out of that potential drop zone. JJ will finish the lap and has a massive moment. JJ still beats Memphis and Wendy's. I don't know how, but that was an unbelievably scrappy lap, and I think that JJ could be in a lot of trouble here. I don't think he could have enough time to do another lap. Prix is on an out lap. Memphis, this is going to be a very important lap for him. This is arguably the most important lap in his FRL career to this point in qualifying, to get out of the bottom 4. He only needs a 10th. And he runs a 27.2 first sector. Not great, but he does do pretty good there going through turn 6 and into 7. Yeah, I think JJ's in a lot of trouble, guys. As Memphis is not on a horrific lap at the moment. He just needs to keep it together at this stage. Oh, but he locks up. He's going to go really wide and invalidate. Oh, that's going to help JJ out loads. But remember, there are still drivers who have not even set laps yet, Prix being one of them. And at the moment, if none of these drivers are able to set a lap, Sugi would actually be given a spot through into Q2, even though he was given a qualifying ban. Now with Prix, he does not need a spectacular lap. He just needs a decent one. At the moment, this is a decent lap that should put him pretty comfortably inside the top 10. And Prix, who is obviously not known as a great qualifier, his work is done in the race, but he's going to go P10, 30.3 at the moment, and I think that should get him through to the next session. Wendy's is down on his time currently. And with Zitman and Art Rhythms both to go, CB will retire with that one great lap. And don't quote me on this, but I think this is Art Rhythm's third set of tires in the session. I think Art Rhythms could get through on scuffs. 26.980 through the first sector. Very solid. He just needs to keep his car on the track. But Wendy's number 2 goes P12. That's going to put JJ and Memphis into the drop zone, and there's not going to be anything really that they can do. It's all going to be up to Art Rhythms on if he's able to just have a decent, valid lap. As it looks like Memphis and JJ are both on outlaps, but they are not going to make the flag and have any sort of tire performance. I think they are going to be completely done, but Art Rhythms has a massive moment there through the hairpin, and this is going to completely hinder his lap. Art Rhythms has had a horrific luck so far this season, and it's looking like it could continue here tonight at Singapore, as he only just has the final chicanes now to navigate through, as well as the final corner. And this is going to be really close. I think he should be able to get through. Oh, but Bottom's up there a little bit on the curb, and Art Rhythm's going to only be P13, but I think that's going to be enough to get him in. Prime Zitman is pushing in P19 at the moment. He does not have a time, and he also has a 5-place grid penalty, so he's going to be starting at the back pretty much regardless of what happens. And we'll see if Prime Zitman can get himself through into Q2 for the first time this season. No, he does not. P17 is all he can manage. JJ is safe. Memphis did, however, make the flag. JJ will also make the flag. So it's going to be pretty much a one-on-one here. RC is backed out. His lap is done. I'm pretty sure this means Art Rhythms is safe. Now, I think Memphis has enough speed to potentially knock JJ out. He goes 27.2 through the first sector. JJ, who's behind, goes only 27.1 and is 0.2 down. But remember, he does have a lot of time to make up in that second sector. This is definitely not something I thought we were going to be talking about, as Art Rhythms has now been demoted to P15, as I'm not sure why. Did he crash? I'm not sure. But Art Rhythm's on the cut line for some reason. Oh, and JJ is up by a massive margin here. This is going to put, I think, RC in a bit of trouble. But can Memphis get out of the bottom 4? He needs about 0.4 of a second, and he does it! Memphis is he's out of the bottom 4 and into Q2, and he's used all 3 sets of tires to do it, but he has knocked out RC, and JJ goes through as well. He goes P9, and that's going to leave RC and Zipman as the odd man out. And I think Art Rhythms has crashed, guys. I don't know why it says he's that low, but anyways, so that's going to be RC and Zipman both out of qualifying here with Sugi and Killers. And it's going to put Zipman onto the back row of the grid. 2 seconds off. It has been a rough go of it for Prime Zipman. Yeah, and it's saying Art Rhythms out of qualifying. Guys, I think he crashed in the pit lane. Oh wait, no, he wouldn't have been on time. They may have taken the 5 bottom. So Art Rhythms is out on I think in qualifying on speed. And I hate to say it, but he's not going to be very happy at Zipman because he was on a good lap and Zipman ruined it. And I think he thought he'd be good on Scuffs, but it just doesn't look like that was the case. I'll try and figure out what happened as we now head into Q2. See, that is why we love full qualifying. You can't tell me that's not fun. Let's see what's going on here. We have cars on outlaps. Still trying to figure out what happened to Art Rhythms. Also keep in mind though that CB is 100% gonna be the guy with the advantage. He's gonna have that extra set of soft tires ready to go for the race. Now, in terms of the exits for this qualifying stage, I'm going to say... I think Memphis definitely 1, Wendy's is going to be 2, Heat Gang 3, and... I'm going to say Prid's going to go out. Invite putter. Okay, well he's misqualifying, so he's gonna be at the back. I don't see him on my list. He's gonna have to probably restart his game. I'm gonna go check Discord real fast. Yeah, it looks like Putter just forgot that qualifying was even happening. So, unfortunately for him, he will be starting, I think, 19th place with Zipman right in front of him. As we're going to be watching the banker here for Postman. Brian goes quickest overall, 29.4. That's about what he ran in the last session. And Postman's only able to get a 29.8. So it's a bit off of, I think, what would have wanted. 29.1 there for Mr. CB. See what Ghostly can get. Goes across the line. Only P4, so I think that's going to be a scuff set. For Ghostly. CB definitely on a new set. It looks like Prix also using a scuff set. Or he just had a really bad lap. Memphis goes 39.08, so I'm assuming he would have backed out of that lap. When he goes around the final corner, goes P6, 30.3 at the moment. Let's see what Process is up to. I'm gonna go see if Putter's back online now. Yeah, he's not showing for me. Could someone do me a favor and get him an invite? That's who's out of qualifying? I'm gonna see if RC can. Process around the final corner. Goes P3, 26.9. It's a solid time. Taylor did improve on his time as well. It goes 29.7. He getting on the lap at the moment. And there's Putter. So we will have a full grid. And I guarantee you Art Rhythm is going to be absolutely livid, given the fact that if Putter was in about 5 minutes ago, he would be in qualifying still. He gain goes P7, 30.2. Still pretty far off of CB. CB looking very strong once again in qualifying. Now let's go ahead and watch Zeesh, who again I think has a bit of time to find from his Q1 lap. Spinny gonna take pole? Yeah, I don't know though. I think at the very least, I think he could start maybe 4th or 5th. I just think that Ghostly, CB are a little too quick. And then I think Cherie is going to be up there, and I think Zeesh will put a lap together. But I mean, we'll see. I think 3rd's pretty much up for grabs at the moment. Oh, Zeesh hits the wall there a little bit. I'm not sure if any body work went off, but Zeesh is really struggling with the back end of that car, as it does not look like it's cooperating whatsoever. Yeah, CB, I think Ghostly's got you by a little bit. It's not much though. It's probably about a 10th or so. So it could just be whoever hooks up the lap and who does not. As Zeesh would again, I think it's a bit of a scrappy lap, and I think this is going to be on a scuff set as well. Goes P7, just off of Ghostly's, so it may not be as bad as we thought. I want to see what Cherie's doing. I know Maximum Beast will be the next across the line. Some drivers opting to go out relatively early for the last run, Postman being one of them. Maybe it's just to avoid traffic. He was on used, yeah, I figured they were. because they were about 4 or 5 tenths lower than where I thought they would have been. But Ghostly's lap I don't think was particularly strong there for the banker. Maximum Beast goes P2, 29.2. And we'll see what Shuri can do around the final corner. Goes P4, 4.99. JJ on a lap currently, Zeesh on an in lap, so we'll go watch JJ for the moment. Oh, but he understeered like crazy. And I don't even know what JJ's doing at the moment. He may be on an in lap. Strict Volcano looks like he's down by a considerable margin on his lap. A 0.4, I don't know. I think that's going to be pretty close to being able to get in or not. I think it's going to be at around a 0.5 or 6. So, Postman's on his lap, so we'll go watch. So I think you're going to need to pick up 2 tenths. And Postman has already picked up about 85% of it in the first sector alone. Well, has a bit of contact with the wall, though. Yeah, Postman, I don't think is the greatest qualifier in the world, but in the race, you're going to have to always watch out for him, as we saw last week. Where I, by the way, accurately predicted that he was going to win. I know my stuff. Make sure all betting racing advice, you run by at me first. I got you. You ain't got to worry about it. Postman could get a little bit of traffic here. This is what going out early could do, but the Aston Martin looks like he's nice and out of the way. And he goes third quickest. I think that's going to be good enough to get him through. CV is back out on track again. Memphis is boxed. I don't think Memphis has like any tires left. CB goes a 10th up in the first sector. Is Brian on mediums? He is. That's fascinating. But I don't know why you even use them. Anyways. Comes CB. Goes into the hairpin. Second gear. Gear is the gear of choice. CB's about a 10th up. We still haven't seen anyone go into the 29 zeros yet. I have a feeling that we could be pretty close to it here if CB can finish this lap. Maximum Beast thinks that he's done. Doesn't need anything else. I'm surprised CB's even on this lap, because this lap is going to get him through, the one he had. So he just burned another set of tires. He does go into the 29 zeros, but I will say it's a bit of an unnecessary lap there for CB to burn that set of tires, as it looks like most cars are now on the racetrack. We're gearing up for the final runs here of Q2. This is a lap I'm really interested in all. Yeah, down, and he's going to invalidate. Yeah, I just don't know why you even put another lap on the mediums. I mean... Oh, and Zeesh has been given a 5-place grid penalty there for illegal blocking. As... I don't know who he's blocking, and maybe an Alpine... Yeah, and unfortunately, because remember, we don't restart for grid pins anymore. And I will say that he is 100% in the way. Shree on an out lap. Let's pick up Ghostly, who's, again, he's going to need to find a little bit of time, at least 4 times. But this is a new set of tires. Yeah, I hate that for Zeesh, though. I mean, because that's going to put him probably into the teens for starting position. As Ghostly looks like he's on a very solid lap. That should be able to get him in. He just needs to be nice and cautious in the final corner. And Ghostly does go 29.1, but it's CB with the leg up over his rival at the moment in qualifying for tonight. Shree is also up on his time, but by a very minimal amount, as Deep Day looks like he's out. JJ is retired. He's most likely going to be out of qualifying. Zeesh needs to pick up a little bit of time to knock out JJ. Heeking will be out of qualifying. He's invalidated and hit the wall as well. Wendy's number 2 could potentially get in, but he's going to need a lot of time here to pick up, as the checkered flag is now out. And Wendy's is up by 4/10 here, so he could potentially knock out JJ, who was oh so close to getting knocked out of Q1. Print goes P6 there for Red Bull. Let's see if Wendy's number 2 could potentially make a Q3 appearance. Solid lap. And he's in. He's in as for the moment. Zeesh is down on his time. And I think he's going to be able to get in. Wendy's number 2 with a very solid effort there. And it's only his teammate that can deny him. And I don't think it's going to happen. No, it's not. Wendy's beats his teammate Zeesh. That's a massive shock here in qualifying. Zeesh is out of Q2, along with JJ, Heat Gang, and Memphis, who just was, yeah, I don't know what he is doing, but he is out of qualifying. And I'll give it to Memphis. He's going to start 13th with Zeesh's grid pen. I think he'll take that and run. But when it comes to the race, it's going to be pretty difficult for him. Taylor gets in, as does Shree, Van Beast, Postman. Yeah, but Wendy's getting in over his teammate. That's a pretty big shock. And that's going to put Zeesh, I think, starting P16. Alrighty. 7/10 is the gap from P1 to 10. You will see a slightly larger margin here. Due to obviously the length of the track and such. So apparently JJ's been given damage because his controller shut off. Ouch, that is not good. All right. So Q3. This is going to be interesting. It looks like we have the first set of cars going out onto track here for this session. Postman looks like he's the first one out. I'm anticipating that most of these times will be set on scrub tires. Again, I don't know why CB didn't save that set, because he could have done his banker lap on a fresh set of tires, and he would have been comfortably probably first, and that really would put the pressure on everyone behind to be able to capitalize on their second laps. Engine is now in party mode. I guess we'll see. Alright, so here we go. All 10 cars are on track. And we're going to go ahead and run on board with... actually, who's in front? Is that Taylor? Or is this Brian? Alright, we'll watch Brian first. Because it's going to be the time that everyone is going to have to beat. And he has made it to Q3, which is fair enough to him. And I think his wheel is just disconnected because he had just slammed into the wall. Unless if I'm lagging. Yeah, I think something has just gone horrifically wrong. I'm surprised he hasn't DNF'd from the session because of that. But we're going to watch Postman. And that's going to be a very frustrating for Strict Volcano, considering that this is a track where he can score some solid points and probably get himself back into a higher tier with this performance. Postman looks like he's on a decent lap there. 104.3 is a pretty solid second sector split. And it looks like Brian is able to carry on, as it looks like this problem has rectified itself. Oh, Postman has a bit of a moment there. It's going to be a 29.5. Probably lost about a tenth there in the last corner. Maxman Beast only good enough for a 0.7. Prix ran a 104.9, so he's a bit off of the pace at the moment. Process goes P3, 30.2. Remember, these are most likely scuff laps. I don't think that is a new set of tires there for Postman, as Ghostly goes provisional pole at a 29.378. Prix goes P6, slowest of the runners. Brian is boxing, but it's going to be CB going 28.7 to go provisional pole by a big margin. First car into the 28s. And now it's just going to be Wendy's number 2 and Shri. And Wendy's number 2 stays in 8th place for the moment. Now it's up to Shri. Taylor goes P4. That's going to be a lap that he'll be happy about. Slowly starting to get better and better throughout the session. And Shree goes P3, 29.4. And again, I think that's a banker set. So with the first runs done, it is CB with a pretty commanding advantage at the moment. By 6.5 tons. That's pretty close between P2 through 6. And then the cars behind needing to find some more pace. As I keep forgetting what my button is. What do you guys like more? Do you guys like the deltas or do you guys like the lap times? I never show the deltas in qualifying, even though in real life that's what they do. I don't know. You guys let me know. Oh, it looks like Brian is out of the pit lane. So, try this again, says Mr. Strict Volcano. No, Marcus, I'd have to have them re-vote on it because they voted on it and they did not want it. I think 13 or 14 people did the vote, and it was like 1 for and like 12 against. It was ridiculous. And right here, that's where Strict Volcano had that issue earlier, is able to get through it. Now this is going to be his only time, and I think that he has enough speed to potentially start around the top 6. But he really needs to just prioritize getting a decent lap on the board. And let's see what his second sector split's going to be. Going to give us a better indication of where he is. It's going to be a 104 dead. That's solid. We'll see what he can do here through the final corner again. This is going to be his qualifying. Goes P2 though, into the 28. I knew it was a decent lap. And that's going to put some pressure on the guys behind. Because it looks like Strict Volcano is coming ready to play tonight. As everyone is still in the pit lane. It looks like we do have a mover, and I think it's in the other AlphaTauri of Taylor. Yeah, okay, like I said, around Singapore, it looks like he's going to be really good. It looks like every car is now back on the track outside of Van Beest and Ghostly, who is now at the end of the pit lane. Oh, and Van Beest too, who is now in the pit lane and now out of the pit lane. So it's gonna be Taylor starting first. So we'll go ahead and watch him. Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah, okay, that's Strict Volcano going into the pit lane. So now it looks like it's going to be CB, the man on a mission at the moment, and we're going to go ahead and show the gap to the leader as we prepare for the last run of qualifying. It's going to be CB that we'll ride on board with. See if he can extend his advantage over the field. Oh, that's going to be a big moment, and that's going to be CB's qualifying lap probably done before it's even really been able to start. And I mean, you might as well keep pushing, but if he's down by too much, we're going to go ahead and watch someone else. As he took a lot of entry curb there, turning a bit too early. Yep, and over 2.5 tenths down, 2 3/4 tenths actually. So now I want to turn my attention to Ghostly, who is, I think, is the only guy that's going to be able to beat him. As now the checkered flag is out, and that's going to officially lock Strict Volcano into P2 for the time being. Ghostly is really pushing the boundaries now of the track. I think Process is going to be the first one to cross the line, so we'll go ahead and hop on board with him. CB does improve on his time, however, so he has a lot of time in that lap. Taylor goes P2, Process goes into P2, replaces him, and CB really put that lap together. Postman goes P3, Ghostly is up by 4 tenths, Prid goes P6, jumping his teammate. But can Ghostly deny CB a pole position here at Singapore? He will by 42 hundredths of a second, or 42 thousandths of a second. Ghostly is going to capitalize on CB's mistake. Winnie's number 2 stays P9. Tree improves to P6. And now it's only going to be Van Beast who could potentially dethrone Ghostly. And I don't think he did. P8 only for Maximum Beast. And that's going to put Ghostly on the pole position. What a lap there from Ghostly. And I told you that earlier, I don't know if anyone caught it, but that this qualifying session was probably going to come down to who didn't make a mistake between the two. And CB made that mistake, lost 2.88 tenths. So that is definitely not gonna help. Sorry, I'm just putting the announcement to on one to ready up. But yeah, that's going to be CB making that mistake is going to cost him pole position. I'm going to go grab some water because my throat is starting to get mad dry. So I'll be back in just a moment. I'm just going to leave this up. Alrighty, so we are back and almost ready to go. I think we have about actually about 15 seconds before we get started. This is the longest race of the season and arguably the most difficult. Alright, and you guys can go ahead and ready up, and we'll get this race started. Not too far behind schedule today, so we will take that. As we're going to have 5 lights in front of the drivers here at the FRL Tier 2 Singapore Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and we are racing once again as it looks like Prix had a pretty bad start there out back. But Ghost is going to have the advantage into turn number 1, and he's going to put CB in a position where he has to give up the position. And Ghostly now will try and drive off into the lead as everyone on the grid opting for the hard tires outside of Maximum Beast, JJ, and Memphis. Maximum Beast and Memphis opting for the mediums, JJ for the softs. But Prentice had a miserable start, down to P20. So the top 6 stays the way that it was at lights out. JJ picking up 3 positions on those soft compound tires as he's getting by his teammate. Wendy's has been dropping a bit at the start. Sugi making up 2 positions, as is Killers. Those 2 are going to have to work together to get through the field. But Ghostly has a pretty commanding lead at the moment, and CB over Process as well. That's now over a second all the way back to Process, as we're going to go ahead and hop on board with Postman to see if he can maybe get a move done on a car that looks like is struggling to fire off. Taylor Ross up into P5 at the moment, but right now after lap 1 it's going to be Ghostly taking the first lap lead and fastest lap as well, as it looks like most cars on a relatively similar ERS. Memphis looks like he's playing very close with fuel, but no cars having damage, so that's a good. Hopefully we can keep it that way. Yes, sir, Dave. Our Red Bull on top, 100%. As I think Postman's getting a little bit closer, and I think Shri has just gotten into Taylor, and for the 3rd week in a row, Taylor is going to be having an issue, but I think he's not going to have damage this time, as, oh my gosh, Algorithm's just not going to let him rejoin properly, and Taylor is just cannot catch a break, as now he's in threat of losing another spot to RC, and he does. And once again, due to really no fault of his own, Taylor is going to be back there in the mix. Oh, and he's hit someone, and he's hit RC. I think he's locked up, and that's going to be a penalty for Taylor too, as his day just goes from bad to worse 3 weeks in a row. Within the first lap, or 2 laps, he's had an incident. He's going to slow down and give the position back to RC to let him know that he's sorry. Fair enough to Taylor for doing that. He's not a driver that makes too many mistakes on his own, but that one definitely looked like it was one of them. Ghostly really needs to try and break this DRS from CB. I don't think it's going to happen. CB is having to use a bit of battery, but I think Postman's going to be able to size up a move here to get onto the podium places. And with battery, it should be a pretty easy overtake for Postman as it goes around the inside and into 3rd place, past Process. For 3rd place in this race, JJ is continuing to make up spots early on the soft. So it looks like he's going to be going for a mega undercut. Or this could be even a two-stopper for JJ. A two-stopper is not actually a horrific idea if you can catch traffic at the right spots. And I think actually the two-stopper is a little bit of a faster strategy around here. But again, it's all dependent on how you catch traffic. Zeus has just gotten by Memphis to get into the points, and I think Memphis is under threat here from what he's ever to. There's a little bit of contact. Memphis trying to keep the position, and Wendy's is not going to be too happy about that. Memphis is going to lose out big here. To Killers and Wendy's. As CBS has the new fast lap of the race. The Ferrari has a bit of a peak there on the Williams. Here comes Sugi potentially down the inside. And he's going to make contact. And that was not a smart move from Sugi there as he spins at the final corner. Haas is off as well of Art Rhythms. And Sugi's going to be getting a penalty most likely for that. A move on Wendy's just pretty unnecessary, if I'm being honest. Memphis has damage to top it all off. Max Van Beest is going to be burning battery here, and he's not going to be able to get past process, so that's not good. But yeah, I mean, Tsugi, there was just no real reason to make that move stick there in the final corner. Process is out of the race, and he's crashed, and there is a safety car has been deployed. I think he just crashed on his own. I'm trying to see where it was, and I think he may have just had a snap and went into the wall. Safety car has been deployed for the first time tonight. So that's really going to help some of the drivers who just got involved in that little incident. Zeman making up a lot of places as a result of that. Now I'm interested to see if anyone's going to box. I think JJ may box. I think it's a little bit too early. I think if this was maybe another couple laps, Ghostly looks like he's going to commit to box. CB staying out. JJ is in. And I think Ghostly jumped the gun a little bit there. So it looks like Ghostly's going to be on a plan 2-stop now. And I don't know. I think if this were maybe like lap 8, not lap 5, I think it's just a bit early. But the good news is for Ghostly is he's going to be able to beat Taylor Boss out, I think. As he's going to position his car the best he can to make sure that that does happen. So Ghostly will be probably about a lap quicker than everyone in front of him. So this may not be a terrible decision for him, but he's gonna have to make those passes as quickly as he can without obviously doing any damage to himself. As it looks like a lot of drivers back further in the grid deciding that maybe a plan 2-stop isn't a bad idea. But yeah, again, I will say this: if you're further back, I think you definitely do it. If you're leading the race, I don't think so. I think it's a bit too early. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. So CB is in first. Max Van Beest is going to have another opportunity here to put those medium tires to work. I think we're gonna have another lap here, and I think our rhythms is back in. Oh, did he have a wing change? Looks like he did. So our rhythms should be good to go now. This has been a nightmare start of the season for him. And again, like Taylor, most of it has not been his fault. He did actually spin last week at Japan while running relatively well. Memphis, you're an idiot, bro. I don't know why you're fighting him. Those guys behind you were literally going a second a lap quicker. That's Memphis, Marcus. I'm telling Memphis, bro, you need a race engineer that sits there and literally holds your hand. Memphis again. Oh my god. Memphis, you. Okay, listen. When you was that your corner? Yes. But dude, you gotta realize when someone's that much quicker and when they're gonna send it. Like, you turned like they weren't even there. Like, that's the issue. Now both my cars in the top 10. Thanks, Memphis. Good start from Killer, staying out of trouble. Just remember, FRL bet is coming soon. Oh my gosh, dude, we need FRL bet, bro, because I'd be making bank. I would be making bank off of that, bro. The one thing I do hate about this track, though, the safety cars are so long. Oh my gosh. I'm interested to see what happened to Process, though. Williams on top. Oh my god. Oh my lord. So I should be going green this time, as it looks like RC has all but caught back up to the pack. Alright. So, remember, Ghostly the first car on new tires, JJ the second car on new tires, and P14. So we're going to keep an eye on how these guys can make their way through the field. Again, I'm anticipating probably about a second and a bit of lap time that they should be faster than the cars around. So let's go ahead and hop on board with Postman as CB prepares for this restart. And CB is gone, and Postman gets a pretty decent jump. But as does Maxman Beast in third place. It's a little bit of a peek to the inside. Thinks better of it, goes back into line. And Ghostly is already past Prime Zipman. And JJ, it looks like, is side by side with Wendy's number 2. But Wendy's number 2 is around. And for the second time in 2 racing laps, Wendy's number 2 has been involved in an incident, and after a very strong qualifying position, it's not really looking great for him. Dude, I swear, alright, so like, I've never smoked anything. Bro, I cough all the time, and I don't know why. Like, even before allergy season, like, I just cough. I don't know. So, anyways, moving on. Maximum Beast is really starting to put the pressure on the Postman now, trying to make those medium tires work. Ghostly has also passed Putter. That was a pretty important pass for him, as we know Putter is a pretty difficult driver to pass. And Ghostly here is going to try and size up a move here on Killers. And he's just going to be able to break a lot later, but he is going around the outside, and Killers doesn't have to give him that much space. And there's a little bit of contact, but Ghostly does save it. Killers still trying to fight on the inside, and he does keep the position for now, but Ghostly's going to try and duck to the inside, and he will outbreak the Williams, and that is what new tires will give you. As Killers having a massive moment. Ghostly has made the most of this restart, going from 11th to 8th, and now on the back of Zeesh for 7th place. Now, I think Maximum Beast is probably going to have another couple laps where those tires are going to be better before they start to really even off. And I think it's going to be a bit difficult, even as it is now, to be able to make that overtake. Guys, Ghostly gets another spot off of Zeesh. And we have a crash, and I think it's JJ. JJ around, and I think this is the second collision he's been in. And around goes Prid King as well. Prid has damage, and he's going to need to really get pointed quickly, as quickly as possible before he could get disqualified. And he's able to do so, but that's going to be a disaster for Prid. As Ghostly gets past another driver, and I'm telling you, boxing onto those mediums may not have been the smartest thing, but Ghostly's really making it work out here, as he is just flying through everyone at the moment. Zeesh, it looks like, having a look underneath the heat game there in the battle for 7th place. And just look how much Ghostly has already gained, and now he has DRS. And Brian had a massive moment there on the exit. Zeesh is going to be under pressure there from Killers as they enter turn 1. Could Killers get 2 in one corner? Not quite, as Turkmecano gets another time penalty. He had 6 last night, and he's been passed by Ghostly already before they've even gotten to the straight. And with DRS, he's not even going to be close. Ghostly is gone, and now he is in the top 5. Killers has passed Zeesh for 7th. So Heatgang losing 2 spots there in about 40 seconds. Sugi starting to make some gaining, as well as Art Rhythms on the new tires. So those guys making that gamble, looks like it's working very well for them. Zeesh with a little bit of ERS usage is not going to be able to get past Killers there, as Ghostly has already gained 6/10 on Tree in the middle sector of this lap. Postman very close to also losing DRS. The best thing for Ghostly at the moment is going to be the cars in front of him losing DRS from each other. And Tree is unbelievably close to doing that. As all 3 of them really are. They're all about 2nd, 8th, 10th range. As Ghostly is still consistently, I'd say, about 1.5 seconds faster than the cars in front. I want to see what time CB ran. CB ran a 33.8. Ghostly ran a 33.3 in traffic. So, and Brian, I think, had damage. And he did. It looks like I think I see a wing. No, it's not. This is a planned 2-stop. So he's going to take the advantage here of trying to get on some newer tires. I mean, he might as well. Now, this is worst case scenario for Ghostly here. These cars being close to each other. Bashiri looks like he has no speed on the apex. As Ghostly should be able to get him here probably on the next straightaway. So you can just see how much traction he has. I think a slightly wider line as CB is going to be gone. Ghostly will have DRS, but so does Shri. But Ghostly, with the superior traction, is going to be able to clear the Alpine. Into 4th place he goes, as Postman is really starting to lose contact with CB now in 1st. As I think Maximin Beast is going to be able to get him here going into the chicane. Yes, he does. But right now, Ghostly is on an absolute mission. He needs to clear both of these cars as quickly as possible to use those tires while they are in a much superior operating range. I think Ghostly just got into Postman there a little bit, and that could be a penalty coming Ghostly's way. He's going to need this race to run green. I'd say that's probably a 3-second penalty coming for Ghostly there. Hopefully Postman doesn't have any damage. But Williams are in a very good spot, though. P5 and 6 on the road. Sugi up into P7. I think he's going to be sizing up a move on Killers for 6, and he does. Sugi into P6 from the back of the grid, but Killer's going to fight back, but Sugi's going to have the better braking line going into the slow speed corner, and he does and keeps position. Again, Ghostly really needs to get these positions done as quickly as possible. Because after a bit of time, the tires are going to start to kind of even out a bit. And he's going to be quicker, but it's not going to be at the level that we saw earlier. I think Ghostly could have a bit of a peek here to the inside of Maximin Beast going into turn number 1, and Maximin Beast is going to give up the position, and Ghostly will go into P2 after restarting 11th. So it's going to be Van Beest falling back into P3, and Sugi starting to make some good progress here on Postman, who's really struggling now. Street's actually passed him. Oh, Sugi, I think, made a bit of contact there with Postman. So Sugi up into 5th, and he is also on a charge. Ghostly is catching CB at a pretty high rate of speed now. But the problem that Ghostly is going to have is that CB is going to have to box here pretty soon. And I think to make the strategy work, Ghostly is going to have to pit a little bit later. I'm not sure how many tires he has, but if he had another set of mediums, that'd be perfect. The medium tire is very good around this track, as Heat Gang has been given a 3-second time penalty for track limits. And Shree is actually just past Maximin Beast. I did not even think that was going to happen. Oh, I was looking at the mini-map, and Shree, who continues to be very solid in the races, is up into 3rd place. RC, another guy who's making a decent amount of progress. Zeesh and Zitman have both boxed, as has Wendy's, who I just feel so bad for, because he was having a very good race. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if Ghostly isn't given at a minimum of a 3-second penalty. I don't think it's bad, but it's definitely going to be something because he can't just hit Postman off like that. So I'd say at a minimum, Ghostly's probably going to need 3 seconds of leeway. But at the pace that he's going right now, he should get that in the next like 2 or 3 laps. As CB just really nothing he can do with the inferior tires at the stage. Sugi's all over the back of this now, train 2 P3. And remember, Sugi is very good around this racetrack. I think he would have been a pole contender. Putter looks like he is boxing this lap. I think he'll be going to medium. Still 19 cars running here about halfway through. Solid race so far. Let's go ahead and pick up back with this battle, and Ghostly again is just so much quicker than CB at the moment. It's really just going to be about waiting to find his opportunity. CB has been doing a pretty good job though with his battery, given the circumstances. He's matching Ghostly. And now they have 4 seconds of an advantage. But right now, Sugi is all over the pack of Shri. And those 2 cars boxing have really opened up a big window of possibility for them scoring major points here today. So that could be, in fact, the strategy. I mean, I know it's difficult to pass around here, but with the tires, being on the newer tires is going to be absolutely detrimental. Well, not detrimental. What's the word I'm looking for? It's definitely going to be necessary. And I mean, we saw it a bit yesterday, but I think I'm more of an extreme example of it. As we're going to go ahead and ride on board here with Ghostly, as I think he's going to be able to take the lead here. No, he's not. He did not get a very good exit. But one car who is about to get an overtake done is Sugi into P3. Taylor has a 3-second time penalty. He's going to need a box. So Sugi is again making very good progress, as he did at Bahrain. Sugi has not been very good in qualifying, as Brian's been given another 3-second time penalty. But yeah, I mean, kind of baller qualifying then. I don't think he qualified particularly well last week either. And then obviously he had the qualifying ban this week. So he's pretty much been on the back foot. Even though I do think he's the 2nd quickest driver in the field as a whole. Now, I think we're going to see CB boxing this lap. As no, CB is actually going to stay out. And you know what? Until Ghostly can pass him, I think CB should stay out. Because all it's going to do is help him on strategy at the end of the race. He may get a pretty good undercut now, but I think as the race goes on, the car behind is going to really make that time up for every lap. It's just going to be a repeat of what we saw earlier. As it looks like Maximum Beast is in, Shri is in, and Killers is also in. And, oh, and the safety car has been deployed! And I'm not sure why. It looks like Prid King was off track, but I don't know why the safety car has been deployed. This is going to be really huge for any car that just stayed out, I believe. Actually, I don't really think it's going to matter too much. But definitely the cars that pit are going to be at a slight disadvantage, as the race was still green for about 10 seconds. So I would not be surprised at all to see Postman probably jump the Shri, Van Beesten Killers train. Zeesh is boxing. But now here's the thing, if you're Ghostly, it's like, I think this is worst case scenario. If you don't have mediums, then you are sunk. And I don't think he has a set. I think he just has the one. And I think that we're going to see here for Tier 1, I think you're going to have to go a balance allocation because you're going to need that extra set. As CB is boxing, staying within the confines of the track. Our Rhythms, who is also quietly had a very good last run. Remember, he restarted 19th. So this is going to help him a lot. And I think we're going to be seeing... Brian's also going to be a car that's in an interesting spot. I think he's going to have to stop. Yeah, he is. He's going to have to double stack behind his teammate. Now, where will Shri come out in all this? He was running 4th. CB is out. Okay, Ghostly did have another set of mediums. As does Sugi. Postman. Oh, he runs a bit wide, but Postman will jump Shri. So Postman staying out that extra lap with the safety car is going to be able to inherit P4. Art Rhythms jumps Max Van Beast. A Killer's going to fall all the way back to 10th. This is going to save Taylor Boss's race. He goes to P11. So as these drivers are trying to get positions sorted out exiting the pit lane, it looks like Brian, even with the double stack, is going to be able to stay ahead of Zeesh and Putter. Zitman, JJ, Memphis. Prix just now boxing. And Wendy's number 2 will be staying out. So I don't know why that safety car was just thrown. That's definitely a bit puzzling, I will admit. Alright. Sorry, I've just been on my phone for a couple seconds. I haven't got to check anything. But yeah, this is big here for Sugi because now he's going to have a chance to really fight with Ghostly and CB. But still, CB going to be on the upper foot. Again, I think Ghostly's going to have at least 3 seconds coming his way at a bare minimum. As we're still going to have another lap at the safety car. Alright, so I have one more lap behind the safety car. Looks like we'll be restarting with 11 laps to go in this race. Let's see if there are any more maybe last second takers. Looks like we will not. Everyone happy where they are. Everyone also on pretty much equal tires. Putter looks like he's on slightly older than everyone else. But he is kind of mired back in 14th. He's not really ever been able to be a factor tonight. A good run for RC in the top 10. Heat Gang as well, running 8th, but does have that penalty. Both the AlphaTauris kind of recovering. Oh, it's CB! He's something has happened! CB just spun! And I saw him lighting up his tires on multiple occasions. And can someone confirm if he dropped it? Also, anyone that took Ghostly live at plus 1200. I think, yeah, well, that bet just went all the way down. It just tanked. Oh my god, that's crazy. So CB is all the way back and stuck in 15th. And again, I think he dropped it on his own, because when I was looking at the deltas, I think Ghostly was a decent amount behind him. And I think we would have seen a contact there. But yeah, CB I think is just throwing this away. I'm just here to see if Memphis wins. You should probably go ahead and turn that stream off, mate. I don't think it's going to happen. He's been doing alright. He is 16. I mean, he's still in the race, too. Which is solid. Dude, if Memphis wins this race, I'm betting my entire allowance on the Charlotte Hornets and whoever they play in the next game. So now, instead of CB, the hands of the field will be in the hands of Ghostly, who, remember, will have that penalty post-race, unless if some bizarre way he doesn't get it. So Sugi realistically just needs to try and stay as close as possible, and Ghostly really needs to try and get Sugi out of DRS now. But remember, these two are very quick and I think evenly matched. Ghostly is gone, and Sugi is caught napping just a little bit. Ghostly has about 5/10 as they exit the final corner. As I think RC has just had an issue. No! Yeah, he has. Oh, and he's stuck on the curb, too. Oh. He had such a good run going. And it's going to be looking pretty difficult for Mercedes to score any points today with Putter in 11th with that penalty. CB is up to 13th. Killer is also having a bit of a tough go at it. Memphis wins their entire... No, bro, I'm not... You know, Bowman actually isn't that bad at Bristol, but it's still by all means not a comfortable bet. I mean, when you haven't won a race in 2 years and you're that far off your teammates, I mean... Ghostly has picked up that second, and Suki actually has used a decent amount of ERS to try and stick with him. That is exactly what Ghostly is going to want. As CB has just gotten past his teammate of Prime Zipman, who both of those cars are in position to potentially score points today if they can keep it up. Sugi's trying to close back, and out Ghostly sets the new fast lap of the race, 1:31.155. Unbelievably important lap here for Sugi. He just needs to try and stay in DRS range and then let the race play out how it will. But I think if he loses DRS, it's going to be unbelievably difficult to be able to track him down. But Ghostly's strength has been the middle sector of the lap. Sugi is starting to creep in ever so slightly. But it's still Ghostly with the advantage. The gap's starting to creep back towards around... No, it's staying at about 7/10. Shree about to lose touch with Postman here pretty shortly. Yeah, with everyone on equal tires, it's going to be really hard to pass. As Deep Day has just got past Strict Volcano. He's actually just lost another position. I think his teammate didn't really put him in a great spot there. But yeah, Ghostly was not able to gap Sugi. And as they come to the line, 4/10 is the gap, and Sugi's going to have DRS. Ghostly felt like he was robbed at Bahrain. Partially due to Sugi. Remember, these two were battling it out in Bahrain, where Sugi debatably forced Ghostly off the track. But nothing came of it. The stewards did assess it as a fair play there. Sugi's going to have a slight peek around the outside, as now Postman has lost DRS, or very close to losing it. He's used his entire battery to try and stay with him. I think Taylor just made it up another spot. Zipman just got past Putter there for 12. So both Zipman and... Oh, I think Putter just had an issue or something. And he's going to lose out even more positions here. So both of them actually lost out 2 positions each. Spread still can't really go anywhere at the moment. Ghostly comes across the final corner. Postman's still able to stay there. And Putter and Zipman, I think, have just collided. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Killers gets a 3-second time penalty. Both cars were trying to pit, but both missed it. Yeah, and Zipman is not happy at all with Putter and how he was raced. And that's going to be severe penalties, most likely to both of them, for causing an intentional incident. But we will talk about that later. Zipman's going to call it quits, and I do hate it for him because I think he was on for points today, when I don't think Putter was. What do you guys think? Also, I don't want to jinx him. Art Rhythms is having a very good run there back in P5. I thought his teammate was going to be the better of the two today, but Art Rhythms scoring some solid points for Haas at the moment. And Haas also scored both cars in the top 6 last night, so that's going to be more points going to Haas before race end if he can just keep that position. As I think Postman has officially now lost DRS. And he's going to have to worry about Shree behind now for the battle for the last podium spot. I think Print King is just past Killers. Oh, Killers is boxing. And I wonder if he has damage. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it looks like this is planned. Oh, nope, nope, there's the wing. So Killers gets damage. Prid is... it's going to be close if he can get anything. It looks like Hikang and CB having a bit of a battle. CB's not really someone you want to push too hard. And Putter will be calling it quits in the pit lane. And CB does get the move. Very nicely done there from Hikang. So CB trying to rebound as high up as he can. But right now it looks like Sugi is in the catbird seat to win this race. the gap still at about 3/10. And again, Sugi knows that he doesn't really need to be too urgent. He just needs to be patient here for the next maybe lap or two, build that battery up. But remember, Ghostly is not guaranteed to be given that penalty. I still think it's a very high likelihood. But, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Sugi's going to be much happier if he can just win this race on track and not have to let this race go down to the stewards. The battle for third is really starting to heat up. I think this is another battle that I think will result in an overtake sooner rather than later, and it is CB versus Zeesh. And the battle for 8th place. Zeesh is barely within Deep Day's penalty window. It does not look like Mr. Strict Volcano will be scoring tonight. Oh, Zeesh has a bit of a moment there, entering the hairpin. As Shuri getting closer and closer, and he's been a bit quicker than Postman in the race as the run goes on. Postman, I think, fires off a little bit better. But we are still green here with 5 laps to go around the Marina Bay Circuit. Street getting very, very close. Oh, it has a bit of a moment there. But with battery and DRS, I don't think there's going to be much Postman's going to be able to do. As Shuri gets in and out of the slipstream, going down the inside, heading towards turn, I believe, 6. That's 5 or 6, one of them. But he does get the move done. And there's an AlphaTauri around, and I think it's Brian. Yes, it is Brian around. He has slammed his wing into the wall. And the safety car's been deployed with only 5 laps to go. And this is going to absolutely kill Ghostly's race because, again, he's going to have to be guaranteed pretty much with that penalty. Now, I'm trying to see if there could be any double stacking. It doesn't look like it. We could maybe see one in the Aston Martin garage. But I'm surprised the safety car has been deployed. Now, remember, it's on reduced. Yeah, safety car's on reduced. I don't know why on earth that has been given. But I think we're going to be seeing a mad dash to the finish here with probably 2 or 3 laps of racing. We may not get DRS. Crucial. No mistakes here in the pit lane. As Strict Volcano has just crashed, I think. I think he has. Now, remember, he has been having some wheel issues. Or throttle. And Maxman Beast is staying out, and this is not going to be a good move for him at all. CB as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my Lord. What are these guys doing? Oh, my gosh. They are going to be a literal moving chicane in the middle of the track. Yep, and Ghostly's been given a 5-second penalty for crossing the white line on exit. He did it once, and he's just done it again. And that's going to be 5 seconds that won't be taken off. So this is going to ruin his race completely. So Ghostly needs to pass these 3 cars in the same lap, hope Sugi can, and run for his life. Because the fall off of that run was about 2.5 seconds. With the tire deltas, it's going to be about 4 seconds. I do not understand this decision at all to keep these cars out on the racetrack. Wendy's number 2 as well. I don't know why. That just doesn't make any sense to me. If you guys saw the race last night, we had something very similar to happen. And the 3 cars that stayed out, so there were 4 cars. One of them had common sense and went in. The other 3 stayed out. None of them finished in the points. Now, we're going to have 2 laps of racing, but when you're 4 seconds a lap slower than the car behind you, I don't think there's going to be much you can do. And Roscoe, yeah, I mean, you saw it firsthand from yesterday. I mean, I just think it's a terrible, terrible, terrible decision to stay on the racetrack right now. So I think Pridgen could actually get some points here today if he can just get his car to the finish line. And yeah, I don't understand this move at all. I mean, even if it's only 2 laps, I think the highest that any of these drivers will finish will maybe be 7th or 8th. And Heatgang, there's no way he's scoring points. If Heatgang scores any points, I'd be shocked. With the penalty and with how slow he's going to be, I'd be shocked if he scores anything. Alright, well, we're going to have 2 laps of racing, and hopefully this will be better than Tier 1 last week. For all the love in the world, I hope it is. But yeah, this is just a recipe for disaster here. I cannot emphasize enough how dumb of a decision it is to stay out. I mean, again, I'm telling you, these cars 1 through 3 and Wendy's are going to be 4 seconds a lap slower than the cars behind. I'm telling you, it's going to be 4 seconds, if not a little bit more. So, we'll see what happens. Now we have FRL Overtime. Presented by FRL Bet, coming soon. Oh my god, there's an ad going. Please please tell me I can turn this off. You've got to be kidding me. Why is there an... Oh my lord, I'm going to kill myself. I don't want to run an ad! Alright, well, Ghostly is going to have to take the escape road there. On Heatgang, he gets through. Sugi also gets through. And Ghostly is going to easily overtake CB. And now he's going to try and go get the lead of the race. He needs to get it right now. And Ghosty's going to have a massive run. He's going to be able to outbreak him too. And he does. Ghostly to the leader of the race. Oh, and Sugi's taking out CB. There he goes. Around he goes. CB, and again, oh, there's the first one. So Sugi's going to be getting a massive penalty. This race is going to end up going to Shri at the moment. Yeah, guys, whoever had an ad, I'm so sorry. Our Rhythm's a 5-second time penalty for cutting a corner. Ghostly needs to find as much time as possible. Maximum Beast really slow behind Sugi. Remember, for the ones that didn't see, he completely wiped out CB. So right now, I think it's going to be Shri that's going to win the race. As Van Beast has a massive moment there. Oh, and as I think Heatgang just drove into the wall. And there's a massive crash and a hash is involved. And no, it's our Rhythms. Oh. And he's taken out. And with 1 lap to go, Ghostly is using every last bit of his battery that he can. Shri just needs to bring it home. And he's going to win his first race of the season. And our Rhythms, I cannot believe that he is not going to get anything from this race. Oh, and Deep Day's around. And I think he just got shipped I'm not sure by who, but now RC's going to have a chance to score some points as well. Maybe it's, I don't even know what's going on. I don't think Prit King has a wing this last lap. Oh my god. I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm really not. Taylor is out and in 15th, and I think he would have had a penalty anyways. I think he hit someone in the hairpin. And oh, Heking has just crashed as well. Memphis is running 12th. Maybe a couple other things happen, and he could be scoring. We will see. As Ghostly only just has a couple more corners to negotiate. And Maxman Beast, I think, is going to be able to hold on to Postman. But I think it's going to be Zeesh and JJ who he really needs to worry about. So for Maxman Beast, it actually hasn't gone terribly for him. But that collision definitely helped. But here it comes to the last corner. Ghostly does lead a lot of the race. I think he was the quickest car. He wins on track. Sugi will take the quote-unquote win for now, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Shri that will take the win here at FRL Tier 2 Singapore. Zeesh, I believe, will be on the podium. Maxman Beast will be just off of it, beating JJ by 18 thousandths of a second. Postman P7, RC will score points. Prid oh so close to scoring. I think Killers got in. CB also barely got in. Memphis finishes P12. Yeah, Isugi is 100% getting a penalty. Oh, and apparently Maxman Beast is going to be getting a penalty. I think he may be the reason that Process did not finish that race. But here's the thing, CB. If you weren't on those terrible tires, you probably could have defended that a little better. I'm sorry. You're so slow. Yeah, of course it's Sugi's fault. Don't get me wrong. But, my God. It's just stupid. So we'll go ahead and get the race director to show the tire strategies and incidents. So the TPs can be able to use this stuff. Ghostly seems to think that he may be getting a reduction. Potentially, I'm not sure. But we'll go ahead and proceed with post-race interviews if I can figure out how to pull people in this time. Let's see. If he got that 5 removed, where would he be? Okay, he would be Shuri with the 5 removed. So... yep, we'll see what happens. It's going to be very interesting for sure. But yeah, I think Shri is going to be the winner of this race. So congratulations to him, and we will see if we can get him to interview. Can I go to... Alright, let's try this one more freaking time. Okay, I'm in this. I want to... Dude, isn't there like a role that you can like put in here? I'm not sure.
Do you want me to drag them for you?
Yeah, drag them in, Memphis. Thank you.
Yeah,
So we're gonna go ahead and get the top 3 for now in Ghostly, Sugi, and Shuri. So we're gonna go ahead and get.
You need to. Okay.
Who's Prid? Who is that?
Oh.
Oh my God, Wendy said you're the biggest piece of shit. You can't drive straight. No, CB, no. I don't want CB here. He's a moron. I don't want to hear him.
Okay.
He's an idiot, just like you.
Me.
See, look, you pit there, and you actually could have scored some points.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know what happened. Oh yeah, I think someone spun and hit me. If it didn't spin, I would have gotten points. I 100% would have gotten points, Henny. I can promise you that.
I know. Okay, so for Ghostly and Sugi, make sure to join Jin VC.
Yeah, we moved then. Already. Or someone had to.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think Shree's got this one. I don't see that penalty getting removed for. Yeah, I don't think Ghost is gonna either of those pens removed.
Hi.
Why is he here?
Because I'm omnipotent.
No, get him out.
Him
Get him out. I'm interviewing Sugi first. Sushi Sugi, you are an idiot.
First of all, I was already
Sugi
side by
and
side with
Ghostly
him,
doing the
and he didn't say
same
why.
things that they always, bro.
Nah,
They've been doing the
nah.
same thing for the last 2.5 years.
Well, no. First of all, guess who's 1-2 right now?
I'm
In
telling you,
point
Shree's
tally.
gonna win the race. Shree is gonna win the race, 100%.
I'm
I don't see
telling
any
you.
scenario where
I
Ghostly
am
gets either of
telling
those
you.
pens removed.
I am telling you. I was side by side with Sebi, and he still tried to go and send it on the Aston while I was on his inside. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, again,
I was.
no,
I was
this,
no. I was
listen,
there, and he sends it. I'm telling
listen,
you.
we all know CB's an idiot, but still, that was horrific.
I'm
Anyways,
telling you, it's the
anyways,
truth.
we move on. You did have a good recovery. I think at worst you're still gonna finish like 5th. So,
Yeah, but
solid. Nice job. What do you have to say about it?
quality bands can't stop me.
Yeah, but this one you about to be getting next week definitely will.
What's next week?
Friends, you're an idiot, bro. This man,
No,
2.5 year,
bro.
and you
I
still be
am
doing the
telling you.
same dumb
I am
stuff.
telling you. I'm
The
telling you. I was
same
side by side with
things,
him.
bro.
Bro sent it while I was on his inside. It's not
Who are
my
you messaging
fault.
me? Oh my god, I have so many messages.
Bro,
Yeah, get him
thing
out of
I
here,
said, I
Memphis. I've
told.
heard enough.
Now wait,
Goodbye,
now
Sugi.
I
Your
told JJ
interview
I
is
give him props for
over.
the strategy.
Nah,
JJ
mate,
with the
your interview
strategy,
is
bro. He saved
over.
me.
Let's see. Can Memphis ping Shuri and get him in here. Ghostly, I want to talk to you next. All right. So Ghostly thinks he's getting at least the 5-second removed. So we'll see how that goes. If it does get removed, you will win the race. Oh, that was pretty impressive though. But for sure you're going to be getting something for the postman incident, which is going to be a bit questionable. But yeah, just take me through the race.
Oh, I think it went pretty well. Stayed out of trouble pretty much.
Well, huh, you? No,
Me?
you're next. No, I'm talking to Ghostly. He's an idiot.
Oh.
I talked to. No, you're gonna win the race. You're gonna win the race. Ghostly, you're an idiot, bro. 2.5 years, the same damn person, the same guy. Ghostly,
I'm not no
speak.
idiot.
Yes, you are. You are an idiot. You rammed through Postman, and then you. How do you get a violation of the pit line? How does that
That's-
even?
That is what I'm wondering.
That's not getting
So it is-
removed, bro. That's
It is getting
stupidity. No, that's stupidity.
No, it's getting removed.
Nah, get him out of here. I don't want to hear him anymore. This man sold me a win. Get him out. I'll talk to you later. Get him out of here. I want to talk to the only person with that damn brain. Shri. Again, Shri, whatever whatever your name is.
You're good, bro.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna win the race, and it really was just trying to stay out of trouble for you. That's gonna do it for you as well.
Those last 2 laps were fucking nuts. Sorry for my language, but they were crazy.
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't like
That was crazy.
those 4 people that stayed out really kind of screwed themselves. But hey, it is what it is. Those spins might help me get a win. So hey,
yeah, take what you can get, and you don't throw a fit for sure.
absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, with 2 laps to go, I mean, I think that if they didn't, I think if they would have stopped, I think that race would have finished with a somewhat regular.
I think it would have been a great finish. Though,
Yeah, I think
because
it would have
the
just played out.
top 4 would have been
Yeah, but
unreal.
yeah.
I think Sebi staying out was a big no.
I mean, you had 3 moving chicanes, and it has nothing to do with the driver's speed. I mean, it's just with the tire fall off in the race with the fresh softs
Sebi
behind.
defended the inside onto, I think it was turn 5 or 6, something like that, and then
Oh yeah, Sugi sent him, bro.
Sugi sent and spun him
He
right in front of
sent
me.
him, bro.
I was like, okay, all right. I guess
I
I'm gonna
don't.
get by him.
I don't know what
Sugi
Sugi's
had a good
doing, bro.
recovery from starting to the back, so good race for him. We'll see. Hopefully, post race pins don't do anything weird, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm expecting Ghostly will probably end up taking home at least 8 seconds worth of penalties.
Okay.
With the addition of the 3 for hitting Postman, which I think it could be a 5, but I think he got this one in the bag. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that was a fun race to watch. I wish the ending would have been a little bit better, but it is what it is. You get that sometimes as league racing. You know.
Yeah, on to the next
But-
one.
France.
did better in tier 2 than I did in
Memphis
tier
almost
good for
scored
you.
points. He was
Good for
oh
you.
so
That would've been
close.
3.
awesome.
I was closer to points here than I was yesterday.
Memphis,
Hey. Sometimes it doesn't take.
Memphis to tier
Sometimes
2
it's-
win.
Yep, exactly.
If I didn't
When
get
is it
spun on the
happening?
last lap, I would have gotten points, 100%.
Well, hey, next week you'll get
He's
points.
yeah, you got it, bro. But I am gonna go
Alright.
ahead and end the stream because I'm tired. I want to go to
Appreciate it.
bed.
Have a
I
good
will
one,
see you guys next week. Good job,
Peace.
Stry. Congratulations. Peace. Tomorrow, remember, stream. Goodbye. Good night.